Hello and welcome to the Consistory of the Coke YouTube channel. I'm your host for this video, Reverend Zabel of the St. John's Evangelical Lutheran Church, located in Dalby, Queensland, Australia. On this video, I want to address the topic of online confirmation. So, the other month, I had confirmation for my members over in America. I'd been taking them through the rite of confirmation, and we don't practice online communion in the co-oak. And I have a lot of explanations about why I don't do online communion in my video titled Online Communion. However, I did do an online confirmation. So we did do the rite of confirmation. We don't do the sacrament of communion through the internet, but we do the rite of confirmation. And now some people might be wondering, well, if you don't do online baptism, you don't do online communion, how come you can do online confirmation? Well, that's because of the nature of confirmation. Now, first of all, confirmation is not a sacrament. So it's an adiaphora rite. We don't actually have to have confirmation at all. It's just an apostolic rite that we've retained in our churches for good order and good practice. And it's a rite, not a sacrament. So first of all, it doesn't have that same standing in regards to Holy Communion and baptism. Now, there are some questions about absolution, and I will address this in a future video on the topic of online absolution. But this leads into the second point. With confirmation, the way it is confirmed is through the mouth. Now, I know there is this practice of the laying on of hands in Acts chapter 8 and Acts chapter 19, which are the scriptural verses that are the proof text for the practice of confirmation. There is the laying on of hands. However, that is not an essential thing. The point of confirmation is that a person is examined and that they confess the faith and that the congregation publicly acknowledges that they are confessing the same as the rest of us. All of that can be done verbally. See, the main reason we don't practice things like baptism and communion online is the same reason I don't do baptism or communion over the phone. Because they have physical elements that need to be distributed. The pastor has to take water and apply it to the person. The pastor has to take bread and wine, consecrate it, and then distribute it. You can't do that online. You can't do that over the phone. I can't throw some water at the computer screen and then have it hit you on the other side. I can't take a piece of bread and pass it through the microphone and then it pop out your speaker on the other end. You can't do that. But when it comes to my voice and your voice, you can transfer that via the phone or via an online chat. Now, I wouldn't do a confirmation as a pre-recorded thing, and I want to make that very clear. I draw this distinction when it comes to online stuff between pre-recorded and live streaming. And the main reason the difference is that you take the video aspect out of it and go back to just audio. There's a difference between me recording my voice into like a voice recorder, giving you that, say, cassette tape, and then you using that for confirmation. That's wrong, because that's a pre-recorded thing, and I don't have any control or authority over that. But when it comes to me talking to you on the phone, my voice is transferring to you in that moment, in that instant. And so when it comes to online video chats, you've got the same thing. If I was to record a video like I'm doing now for YouTube, this is pre-recorded. I'm not talking to a person directly. And therefore, anything I say in this video, whether it be an absolution, confirmation, etc., cannot be reused for the rites of confirmation. However, you can, if I was talking to you in a live stream video chat, do that, because it is an instant thing. There's no difference between me talking into that microphone and it coming out your speaker on the other side of the world than if we were in a local congregation and I was talking to the microphone at the pulpit and you were listening to that through the speakers in the pew. So you can transfer your voice through a speaker system, as long as it's an instant thing rather than a pre-recorded thing. And so with confirmation, you can do online confirmation, because I can do the examination here. I can ask you the questions, you can respond, you can make your confession, and the congregation is able to hear your confession, and therefore you can do that online. And so the main reason why you can do online confirmation is because of the nature of confirmation. You're not transferring something physically like bread or wine or water. You're transferring your voice. And I know there is the argument about the physicalness of voice, sound waves traveling through air, being hit against. But the thing is, my sound can travel through a microphone, through cords to the other side of the world and come out a speaker on the other side of the planet. I can't take a piece of bread, stick it into a microphone, and have it come out the speaker on your laptop on the other side of the globe. Maybe if we manage to invent kind of Star Trek level teleportation, where I could consecrate the elements here, stick them on a plate, and then teleport the whole content to you automatically on the other side of the globe, maybe we could start discussing teleportation communion. But at the moment, that's hypothetical science fiction, and it's not something we have to deal with at the moment. If we get that kind of Star Trek level technology where we can transport, where we can teleport physical matter in an instant, maybe then we can start talking about the topic of online communion. But until the day happens where I can pass bread through the computer screen, online communion's out of the question. But since I can pass my voice through the computer, online confirmation's okay. And the same would go for online absolution, which I'll address in a future video. So I've been your host, Reverend Jake Zabel. Goodbye and God bless.